Welcome to this course on artificial intelligence. No matter your background, you are in the right place. We'll take complex ideas and make them understandable, step by step. By the end, you'll see AI not as something mysterious, but as something you can actually use. So in this introductory lecture, we're going to cover who this course is for, what you will learn, and what this course includes. A little bit about myself. I'm a university professor with an interest in learning, education, and instructional design. I've carefully crafted this course, including the content, the visuals, as well as the choice of words. My goal is to make this an optimal learning experience for you. Who this course is for? Students, now you have a great personal tutor in AI. Professionals in all sectors, developers and tech workers, creatives, writers and artists. No more writer's block. Entrepreneurs, decision makers, planners, people who like to travel, and language learners. You can practice talking with AI in a different language using voice. Curious minds who want to know about everything, productivity enthusiasts, lifestyle and better living seekers. And really anyone interested in using AI. This course is clear, uplifting, and refreshing. What you will learn: prompt writing, also called prompt engineering, although I don't really like that phrase. Detailed guidance on how to structure prompts, including image and video prompts, examples of weak versus strong prompts, and some really advanced and elaborate prompts. I wanted to say pranks. Popular uses of AI. What different people are using AI for. Common prompts. Examples of prompts used by different groups such as students, professionals, teachers, tech workers, as well as creatives. AI as a personal writing assistant. Prompts for writing college essays, research articles, business documents. Collaborative writing using the in-page editing feature of AI. How to improve a document that you have already written. Insights, so practical wisdom about using AI effectively and appropriately, and when not to use AI. A workflow that integrates AI with other sources. This course is peaceful, relaxing, and contemplative. What this course includes: carefully crafted lectures with hand-selected content, using instructional design principles for an optimal learning experience. Screen-pass demos that I recorded. Point-by-point summaries at the end of each lecture. Questions and answers for self-assessment and reinforced learning. A printable worksheet with guided exercises, as well as a reference sheet with structured prompts. This course is like a walk in a peaceful forest with a knowledgeable and friendly guide. So, in summary, welcome to this course. This course is for students, professionals, developers. You will learn prompt writing, AI the writing assistant, automations, insights, limitations of AI, when not to use AI, as well as a modern workflow with AI integration. This course includes lectures, screencasts, demos, quizzes, and worksheets that you can use during and afterwards. This concludes our first lecture. Don't worry if everything doesn't feel good yet. That's normal for an introduction. As we move forward, each lesson will build on the last, and the concepts will start to connect. Thank you for your focus today. I look forward to guiding you through the upcoming lessons. Welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to talk about one of the most important skills in the entire course: how to write effective prompts. A prompt is simply a message we give to an AI tool. Think of it like instructions to a very intelligent assistant. If your instructions are vague, the results will be vague. But if you're clear and specific, AI becomes incredibly useful. So today I'll show you the exact structure of a good prompt, the golden rules for writing one, and real examples you can use right away. A great prompt usually contains several ingredients. A prompt is instructions you give to a smart assistant. Better prompt will give you better results. A great prompt usually contains 5 ingredients. Rule: who should the AI act as? As a travel expert or a friendly tutor, so you can specify that in the prompt. It immediately sets style and expectations. What exactly do you want? Write, summarize, explain, translate, brainstorm, plan. Give the AI background details. The more relevant info you provide, the better the output. For example, who's the audience? What is the purpose? Constraints. These are limits or instructions like word count, writing style, the tone, whether it's formal, friendly, or funny. The output format. Tell the AI how to present the answer. Will it be bullet points, table, or an email, or a step-by-step list of instructions? When you combine these 5 elements, you get very high-quality results, even from simple AI tools. Let me give you an example. A weak prompt would be make a blog post intro regarding Dubai. A better and strong prompt would be act as a travel blogger. Write a friendly 100-word intro for a blog post about visiting Dubai in December. So here we have the role for the AI. The task, which is to write. And the constraint, a 100-word intro. All right, I'm now going to demonstrate weak versus strong prompts. First, I'm going to write a weak prompt. Reply to a customer complaint. Let's see what we get. So it requests for, could you share the customer's complaint or the key points you want to address and any specific actions or solutions you want to include in the reply? A better or a strong prompt would be write a polite, let's say apologetic response to a customer. Whose delivery has been delayed by 3 days and will offer 10% discount on the next order. Let's see what kind of response we get this time. And much better. So we have an email. Apologies for the delay in your delivery. I sincerely apologize for the delay. Your delivery is now running 3 days behind schedule. Discount voucher for the next quarter. Next, I'm going to ask for some travel advice. Okay, let's start with a weak prompt. Travel advice for Rochester to Gaithersburg. I used to live in Rochester and would drive to Gaithersburg, Maryland to visit my brother. Let's see what we get. We have some driving options. Most flexible flying times. I'm not interested in flying. They are bus and train options. So, not what I wanted. Okay, now I'm going to give a more specific and more detailed prompt. Act as a travel guide. Suggest scenic routes and stops on a drive from Rochester to Gaithersburg, Maryland. Provide weather forecasts. Let's see what we get this time. A scenic drive from Rochester, New York. It is suggesting taking Route 15 south through the Finger Lakes region, the Appalachian foothills of Pennsylvania. Somewhat rainy in Gaithersburg, and some tips as well. The 4 golden rules for prompting. Be specific. So wiping wake, for example, write an email regarding shipment delay. This is not specific and does not contain enough details to write a clear email. A better prompt would be, act as a customer support manager. Write a polite email to a client explaining that their order will be delayed by 2 days due to shipment issues. The constraints: keep the tone apologetic yet professional and limit it to 120 words. Use examples. There are guidelines from your company or from your supervisor about how to write emails. Tone of the text. It may be useful to provide that as an example to the AI. Step by step. If you received an answer that you do not understand, it may be a good idea to include the phrase, explain your steps in the prompt. Then AI will break down the answer and show you each step. Refine. You don't have to get the prompt right the first time. You can refine the answers. So start simple and then improve. You can say things like, make it shorter. You don't need to write a perfect prompt at the start. Some more examples of weak versus strong prompts. Here's a weak prompt. Write an email to my team regarding rescheduling tomorrow's meeting. A better, more specific prompt is, write a short professional email to my team informing them that tomorrow's meeting will be moved from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. due to a scheduling conflict. Keep the tone polite and clear. Write a caption for an Instagram. Doesn't contain enough detail about the tone and any constraints that you'd like. Here's a better prompt. Write a playful Instagram caption for a photo of an iced caramel latte on a sunny beach. Limit to 1 sentence and add 3 relevant hashtags. Rewrite this paragraph better. Well, you've provided a paragraph, but what exactly do you want to be better? Is a better prompt. Rewrite this paragraph in simpler language suitable for beginners. Keep sentences short and improve clarity without changing the meaning. Explain photosynthesis. Who's the audience and what's the level of the writing? Explain photosynthesis in simple language for a 10-year-old student. Use short sentences and include 1 real-life example. Give me ideas for a business. Generate 10 business ideas for a graphic designer who wants to start an online freelance side hustle. Focus on low startup costs. Let me give you an insight. AI is not about doing things faster or achieving extreme productivity. In fact, it may not be a good idea to get more done. Maybe less is more. Do less, but at a higher quality. So in summary, great prompts are clear, specific, and structured. Specific means more detail. Task. What do you want the AI to do? Write, explain, suggest. Context. Is it travel? Is it about teaching, business, or health? Constraints. Does it have to be within a certain word count? Output. Do you want text, table, list, number list, or step-by-step instructions? And of course, you don't have to get it right the first time. You can refine the output with additional prompts, such as make it shorter, make it more detailed, set the tone to be friendly, or add humor. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next session. Welcome to Lecture 3. Today we are diving into one of the most exciting areas of generative AI, creating images using AI tools. At the end of this lecture, you'll learn how to write effective prompts to get high-quality visuals for your projects. We'll cover writing image prompts, image styles, examples, and some limitations of AI-generated images. Here's an example. So an entire rainforest made from bolded colored paper, full of geometric animals. And here's the best part of using AI to generate images. Use your imagination. So I want you to think with these examples of what the image would look like before I show it to you. So here is what this prompt generates. It's colorful, vibrant, eye-catching. It's another example. We have used the style watercolor with a top-down view of a matcha latte with a smooth green surface and subtle fonts for a pale cream background and a minimal composition. So imagine what this would look like. And here it is. It would be difficult for even an expert artist to generate tiny bubbles on the surface using watercolor brushes. And there's no limit to your imagination. You can change the latte art to an otter, and I would challenge all the baristas to make this. So here's an image prompt of a woven basket of apples, a knitted blanket, reading glasses atop a book, and a porcelain mug on a creaky wooden porch. There's warm sunset tones and painterly realism. Let's take a look. And here it is. Generated instantly in seconds based on this prompt. There is no need for blank lines in when you're writing a prompt. And the order of the components of a prompt is not that critical. Better prompts lead to better results. Here are the 6 components of an image prompt. Subject, what the image is about. Maybe a small wooden cabin by the lake, a futuristic city skyline. Details, appearance, objects, textures, colors, made of dark wood with warm glowing windows, tall neon buildings with flying vehicles. Style, photo or art. Photorealistic, watercolor, painting, digital art, cartoon style, and I'm going to give you a much longer list of styles. Lighting, mood, contrast, and atmosphere. This sets the tone of the image. Whether it's a soft morning light, golden hour sunlight, or a moody dramatic lighting, it changes the underlying ethos of the image. Composition, camera angle, framing, so whether it's a wide-angle shot, a close-up, or an aerial view. Quality modifiers. High detail, ultra-realistic textures, or sharp focus, or on the other hand, maybe a soft focus. So these are the 6 components of an image prompt. Anime-style illustration of a relaxed capybara. Now I want you to visualize that before I show you the image. Here we have wide-angle view with soft ambient light, warm golden tones reflecting on water, lush greenery in the background, delicate ripples around the deck, and tiny floating music notes for a whimsical touch. And I admit it is not easy to come up with such an elaborate prompt. And here it is. Here's the style. Here's the composition and the quality modifier. And my personal preference is to put the style first, followed by the subject. So what are the image styles? We can have photographic styles such as photorealistic, macro photography, portrait, landscape, black and white, aerial shots, long exposure, and retro style. Traditional art styles such as oil painting, watercolor, acrylic, charcoal, pastel drawing, sketches, impressionism, and so on. I like minimalistic line art. It produces some very nice results. Digital art styles. Digital painting, concept art, vector art, pixel art with retro game style, cartoon style, anime, 3D cartoon, Pixar style, graphic novel style. Design and branding styles such as a logo or a flat icon or an infographic, even a UI markup. Textures and material styles such as clay, origami, neon, voxel made popular by the game Minecraft. Atmospheric and mood styles such as cinematic lighting, soft, creamy, So this is a 3D animated cinematic scene of a friendly Yeti serving steaming mugs of hot cocoa from a rustic wooden cart on a snowy mountain path to a bundled child smiling while holding a cup, vibrant, saturated colors, and a shallow depth of field with mid-range eye-level perspective. So very clearly specified, and I want you to take a moment to try to imagine the scene before I show it to you. So does it match your expectations? This would take a lot of work by a graphic design artist to come up with this, and now you have this power at your fingertips within seconds. So you have the style, the lighting, and the composition. Now you can generate videos as well as images. So in a busy Italian pizza restaurant, a small author works as a chef and wears a chef's hat and an apron. He kneads the dough with his paws and is surrounded by other pizza ingredients. This is all you need to generate a high-quality video using AI. And I'm going to play this video now. It's just incredible how you can generate such a complex video with a small prompt like this. Time for an insight. And these are words of wisdom, but based on opinion. Feel free to disagree. My recommendation is to use authentic non-AI images wherever possible. Websites such as Pixabay, Paxos, and Unsplash, and I don't have any commercial interests, offer free images even for commercial use. If you have highly specific requirements, then use AI generators, and I'll give you some examples where I myself have used them personally. Avoid using AI images as decorative pictures in websites and presentations. They have an authentic and somewhat distasteful appearance, which can degrade the overall impression. This is a matter of subjective opinion. I find these pictures to be unappealing. As a university professor, I often talk about teaching, and I've generated cartoons using AI. So here I ask AI to create a two-panel image of a student looking at a computer and a teacher looking at a computer. And then I added in Microsoft Word text boxes and callouts to add my comments. I also use text boxes to cover unneeded parts, so where AI has generated extra stuff in the background. So this would be difficult to draw on your own, or even to hire an artist, you may not get the results that you desire. There is a Create tab in Microsoft Copilot. You can upload an image and place objects on them. For example, place a character in a scene so you can put yourself in a scene or create stylized portraits of yourself. My final example of an image prompt is of a 3D render of a snowy mountain resort celebrating New Year's Eve with glowing cabins, fireworks reflecting on icy lakes, people gathered around bonfires, rim lighting adding depth and highlighting the crisp winter atmosphere. The prompt is excellent. Let's take a look. It appears to have come out nicely. However, when you take a closer look, there are some issues. Can you identify some problems with this image? Fireworks are unrealistically evenly spaced. There is just one firework reflection. There are two groups of similar people and no children, and everyone is wearing dark brown clothes, which kind of looks like unemployed homeless people standing around fires rather than a festive atmosphere. The houses look like clones. They're not identical. However, they lack that variation that we normally see in a village like this. I've seen famous places like Pennsylvania misspelled. There may be an extra hand on a person, a third hand. These can sometimes be corrected by prompt refinement or editing. Editing is not always easy. Sometimes I find it easier to simply cover it up with a text box or erase it in an image editing program. So, in summary, creating images with AI, great image prompts are clear, specific, and structured. Specify the subject or what the image is about, such as a small wooden cabin I make. Detail the appearance, textures, colors. Style, whether you want photorealism or artistic. Lighting with contrast and atmosphere. Composition with the camera angle and framing, whether it's a wide-angle shot or a close-up or an alien view. Quantity modifiers which are optional, such as eye detail, a sharp or subtle focus. Great, I hope you enjoyed this and found it useful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next session. Welcome everyone to Lecture 4 of our AI course, Crafting Documents and Reports, with a focus on collaborative writing using AI tools. Today, we are diving into how AI can become your assistant in writing, and even helping to revise and polish your text so that it shines beautifully. Common uses of AI in writing, working in the academic setting. My first example is going to be from academic writing, the most common application being research articles and more recently, exam questions. In the business setting, AI can help you draft emails, reports, and policies, as well as product specifications, project proposals. In the creative arena, artists and writers can use AI to help draft storyboards, proposals, as well as copy for advertising. Writing workflow. We can divide writing into 3 phases. Pre-writing, even before you start writing, you can organize your ideas with the help of AI to generate an outline, find key arguments, and create a structure for your text. Next, while drafting, AI can help write a paragraph, clarify ideas, create examples, and even find references. You can use AI to help you revise, to improve clarity, tone, simplify wording, or to expand explanations. Here are the 4 components of a writing prompt. You can specify the rule that AI should act as, and what you want the AI to do. Say perhaps write an email or a project report. Context, provide the topic, audience, and purpose. Expectations, so you can specify the tone, the length, so maybe an output of 150 to 200 words. Write 3 paragraphs or provide 4 to 5 recommendations. Here is an advanced or a very detailed prompt. This one is for writing a literature review section for graduate students. So you can specify a topic. My recommendation is to find and insert citations yourself. This is part of academic work of scholarship. It helps to clarify your thinking and know the background behind the writing. Here's an example from the business sector. So you can use AI to summarize regulatory requirements for a domain such as an industry in a region, say California. Another interesting example is to ask AI to craft a story in a special setting such as historical, giving examples of comparable works from previous literature to model the story on. Time for a demo. College student. Write first draft of college essay on, let's say, deforestation and climate change. Focus on green forests and farming. So here's a first draft style college essay written in the voice of a senior college student. It is important to read this carefully. What I want to show you is editing it in Pages. We can do collaborative editing. I'm going to delete the top part here. Then delete this as well. Remove the first draft and add some of my own text. Call for action. Estimates from research studies. Several numeric estimates have been added. I also would like to cite some of the faculty from, say, my university. I went to University of Rochester, so I'm going to ask, let's see. Perspective from the University of Rochester faculty. I can add a section or drag this paragraph up or down. So there you have it, a nice first draft for a college essay. It gets you a head start. I certainly would recommend you to edit this heavily and make it your own. Here's an insight. The goal isn't to let AI write for you, but to let AI write with you, making your writing clearer and more organized. The key idea is that AI provides useful search results, then helps with drafting and revising, while you provide judgment, expertise, and the final decisions. The overall responsibility for the final product is yours. Revising. This is the part that I find most magical. How AI transforms an early draft that you may have written into a polished product. This is especially useful for people who speak English as a second language and may struggle with constructing high-quality sentences or paragraphs with coherence. So you can fix grammar, punctuation, and sentence flow in a text that you provide. You can upload that as a file, as a Word document, or you can insert by copy-pasting it into the prompt. Improve clarity. Rewrite this to be clearer and easier to understand. Make it more professional. Make this sound more professional while keeping the meaning the same. This can change the tone to a more formal tone. Shorten the text. Make this more concise. Summarize this text in 3 to 4 sentences. Or, alternatively, expand and add detail. So expand this text with more explanation and detail. So in summary, creating documents with AI. First, specify the rule AI should analyze. Action. What you want AI to do. Write an email or a report, your policy, or a story. The context, the topic, the audience, and the purpose. Application. And finally, the best part, to revise the grammar, flow, and detail. The key idea is that AI enhances speed and clarity while you provide judgment, expertise, and final decisions. Welcome back. Great to see you as we continue our course on AI for everyone. Today we'll focus on special features, features that are somewhat hidden and you really have to know where to look to find them. Here's what we're covering today. Extract insights from a document, advanced image manipulation, and automatic statistical data analysis. Let's start with extracting insights from a complex document. Here are some simple prompts, such as summarize the entire document in one clear paragraph, or summarize in key points, or alternatively summarize in plain language so a non-expert can understand it. What is the main argument of this document? Generate questions. It helps to stimulate your thought process. Here's an advanced prompt. Act as a research summarizer. From the attached PDF article, give a 10-bullet executive summary of the article's aims, methods, population, main findings, and limitation. When you upload a document, you can ask AI to produce a summary with what's new, extract statistics from the article, assess risk or bias in this article using appropriate criteria, list all the limitations of the study, and suggest a practical fix for each. Compare 2 articles. So compare article A versus B. So you would upload 2 files. Practical implications. Translate the findings of an article into actions for practitioners or policymakers. Here's an article that I wrote, and let's see what happens when we ask AI to summarize it. Let me upload an article to summarize. This is verbal probability terms. And I'm going to write a simple prompt. Summarize this article in 5 key points. That's it. Let's see what we come up with. Here we have a nice 5 bullet points with some explanation showing the key highlights of this article. Next, I can ask what's new in this article, what's novel, something that I should be aware of. Here we have what's new in this systematic review. Gives me key points with very nice explanation. I'm the author of this article, but I couldn't have done this better myself. All right, let's shift to the next idea. Here, we are asking AI to create some advanced diagrams. We are asking AI to visualize a process. And in this case, design a step-by-step guide with 4 panels. In this case, we are asking AI to create a scientific illustration with labels. We can even ask AI to create a high-quality advertising image that you could use in marketing. You can upload an object and ask AI to place an object in a scene when it was not there to a person holding a product. Upload the image of a person. So you can imagine where this is going. This opens the door for some dubious image creation. Here's an insight. Image manipulation is not permitted by scientific journals, and image manipulation is considered deceitful in journalism. In general, people do not like being used in AI-manipulated images or audio with their voice and videos. So avoid inserting other people into artificial scenes, even for light-hearted fun. You could lose a friend for life. So what does that leave us with? I guess you could use yourself as a subject. So here I am. I've taken a normal photo of myself and then asked AI to make a stylized portrait with a hospital ward in the background. And I can easily change my clothes as well as the background to something informal, or put myself presenting in a workshop. And this is what happens if you keep talking for too long. Here I asked Microsoft Copilot to create an otoscopy technique illustration for medical students. However, if you look closely, there are some serious problems. The anatomy of the ear canal is incorrect. The ear canal does not balloon out. Here, a person is using an otoscope incorrectly, and this one is more subtle. I want you to look at both hands. What do you see? Both are left hands. Moving on to automated statistical data analysis. This is something very exciting because it allows everyone to analyze data, at least do the basic analysis using AI. So you would upload your data file, say an Excel file. So here are some basic analysis prompts. Make a data dictionary of variables, provide summary statistics such as mean, median, key plots such as histograms, box plots, correlations, and state the key insights. Test whether an outcome differs between 2 groups of patients. Use the appropriate test. You don't even need to specify the test. Here's an advanced prompt. Act as a statistician. I love it. From the attached data file, analyze the data and provide key findings. Create relevant graphs. State the effect sizes or clinical applications, and then format for non-technical readers. Next, let's upload our data file to analyze. This is diet study data. And I'm going to ask AI to analyze the data using a very simple prompt. Analyze this data statistically and present the key findings. That's it. And this is just amazing. Watch as Copilot analyzes this data and presents a very detailed and a readable summary. So we have the data set at a glance, 40 participants, BMI and rate changes with some descriptives, including average weight loss, and the comparison between the 2 groups. Notice that I did not even specify the groups in the prompt. The AI tool intelligently chose which outcome variables to analyze. And now we have the multiple regression. This is advanced statistical analysis showing which factors predict weight change. Diet is not a significant factor in predicting weight change, so both diets seem to work equally well. And here we have practical conclusions. You can ask it to act as a project manager, a lawyer, a teacher, an interview coach, a design consultant. For complex research articles to programming code, you can ask for simple explanations, analogies, step-by-step breakdowns. With image input enabled, AI can describe photos, interpret diagrams, charts, and read text from images. You can paste code and ask AI to explain it step by step. This has now become a very popular use of AI. AI can also connect to apps, so there is a connect button once you click on it. you will be asked to log in to an app. Certain apps have connected with AI chats, so you can use AI to control the app and send commands to an app. AI platforms have special features such as create a project where you can store all your chats and files and reuse them as you build the project. You can place Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or any complex software on the left side of the screen, maybe 2/3 of the left, and on the right side you can put the AI chat filter. This way you have a help assistant working for you all the time, anytime you need it. You don't need to switch windows. So, in summary, special and hidden features of AI tools extract insights from a document, summarize, find the main argument, what's being built from a table mistake, list the limitations or compared to arguments, convince manipulation, insert an object into a scene, give a scientific diagram, process illustration, or even an advertisement. Data analysis, upload data file, analyze for descriptive and advanced statistics. And our pro tip, use AI as help window. So place the software on the left side and AI chat on the right side. See you next time. Hope you're doing well. Let's begin. In the last session, we covered some of the more advanced uses of AI, including extraction of information from a complex document and advanced image generation, as well as data analysis. Today, our main focus is on popular uses of AI. So we'll cover the most popular uses of AI, some common prompts used by people, as well as what are the applications of AI for different user groups, such as students and professionals. So the most popular use of AI is practical guidance and problem solving, followed by writing help. Of course, this raises the question, who's doing the writing? Is it AI or you? Information search and answers, research, decisions, productivity tasks, learning by students, creative generation. And of course, this raises a very fundamental question about who is the artist behind the work when AI is used to generate content. There have been a lively debate online in blogosphere as well as in academia about the use of AI in creative work. Many people have called for AI to be not used in creative content work. However, AI continues to be used, and we'll see how this pans out. Coding and tech support extremely useful. Translation, entertainment. AI has become a social companion for many people who are spending hours talking with AI, not just for information, but as a friend. This has, of course, profoundly affected human society and interaction, and will continue to do this in ways that we still do not understand fully. Prompts used in the most popular uses of AI. I'll give you some examples. Practical guidance. From removing a coffee stain to troubleshooting hardware, AI is used for all sorts of advice for everyday issues. Writing. Use of AI in writing really helps a lot of people, especially those whose writing skills are not strong or have to write in English when it's not their first language. Information search. AI, it's increasingly replacing standard search engines such as Google for finding information. Research planning and decisions. AI has an interactive tool which can help refine your decisions, compare different options. Productivity, create a weekly schedule. Help me plan my day. These are all ways to enhance productivity and focus on what is more important using AI as a personal coach. Learning. Very useful and popular with students, not just for revising but also for preparing for exams. Creative work, writing, for example, to draft a short story outline. Coding, generate scripts, debugging, as well as converting from one language to another. Translation, for example, translate a phrase into, say, Spanish, or how do I say something in French? Entertainment, conversation, and play. Tell me a joke. I'm sure that is a very common prompt received by AI. Personal growth. Less commonly used, still popular use of AI. Here's an insight. Search engines such as Google help you find information. AI tools help you work with information. There is a difference and both complement each other. Here's a table comparing web search with AI tools. The primary purpose of web search is to retrieve relevant web pages, whereas for AI is to generate answers, explanations, and content. User effort is substantial with web search. You have to browse, filter, and then synthesize. Whereas AI synthesizes information for you, and this really reduces the cognitive workload of the user, especially in higher education where students are skipping the work of understanding, critically evaluating different viewpoints. Common workflow for using AI and web search is to first ask AI to explain, followed by a Google search to verify facts and check sources, and then to return to AI to draft, decide, and refine. Let's see how different user groups use AI in their day-to-day tasks. Students' common use includes study help and explanation, essay writing, doing practice questions with explanations. So for example, help me outline an essay on climate change. Professionals such as managers and office workers use AI for email writing, report writing, and meeting preparation and task planning. For example, create a meeting agenda for a project kickoff. Developers and tech workers use AI for code generation, technical explanation, and comparing different tools and languages. For example, fix the error in this Python code. Creatives such as artists and writers use AI to generate content and concepts. So for example, write a short story about a hidden city. Travelers are increasingly using AI for vacation planning. An example would be create a packing list for a winter trip to Iceland. And home and lifestyle users are using AI for all sorts of things, including recipes, home organization, and do-it-yourself projects. So, in summary, popular uses of AI into practical guidance, coffee stain to troubleshooting computer hardware, writing, for example, fixing grammar. Information search, research planning, productivity, learning, creative, on-depth generation, and a modern workflow that complements AI and web search. So that's it for today. Great work and thanks for your energy. I'll see you next time in the concluding lecture of this course. Welcome everyone. Hard to believe we've reached our final session together. Today we'll review the major concept we've covered, reflect on how they connect, and discuss how you can apply them moving forward. Different user groups use AI in different ways. Students use them for study, essay writing, and generating practice questions for exams. Professionals such as managers and office workers use AI to draft emails, to write reports, and for meeting preparation. Developers and tech workers use AI for code generation and debugging, technical explanations, and comparing frameworks and languages. Creatives such as artists and writers use AI for brainstorming ideas, generating creative text, and for story development. Travelers are now increasingly using AI to plan their trips and vacations, to learn cultural tips and language phrases. Home and lifestyle users are relying on AI for recipes, meal planning, and do-it-yourself projects. Great prompts are clear, specific, and structured. They include task, context, constraints such as word count, output format, and you can always refine the output of AI using further prompts, such as make it shorter or more detailed. Here's an example of a weak and a strong prompt. A weak prompt is vague and non-specific, whereas a strong prompt is more detailed and provides role, task, and constraints. Here's an image prompt with the style, the subject, composition, and quality modifiers. Here's an insight. Use authentic, non-AI images wherever possible. If you have highly specific requirements, then use AI generators. Avoid using AI images as decorative pictures, as they can be somewhat unappealing. Common uses of AI in writing, in academic work in the college and university setting, to draft research articles, to create literature reviews, as well as now increasingly to big exam questions. Professional writing includes emails, reports, policies, projects. Creative and mixed-use writing includes AI for storyboards, proposals, marketing content, as well as advertising copy. And the best part, you can use AI to revise correct grammar, punctuation, and sentence flow, improve clarity, make a document more professional with a formal tone, shorten, make the text more concise, and alternatively expand and add more detail. Use the Edit in Page feature to make further changes via AI with an iterative cycle of prompts and your own editing. The goal isn't to let AI write for you, but to let AI write with you, making your writing clearer and more organized. You own the final product, so you provide judgment, expertise, and final decisions. Do not copy-paste unedited text from AI output and then submit it as your own work, whether it's a college essay or an office assignment. Always make sure you spend time, edit, and make it your own. Here's a more modern workflow. Think quietly about the idea. Write your ideas on paper, not a digital tablet. Use AI then to evaluate. Search using web search engines and read web pages and PDFs. Go to a library and read some books. Discuss with an expert and then discuss with a non-expert for a lay perspective. Compose the initial draft yourself. Generate more ideas via AI. Spend time to refine and personalize. Give it your personal touch. Remember, avoid using words such as I will ask AI or get guidance from AI or seek wisdom from AI. AI is a tool, so in the context of AI, use these words. I will use AI to find more. I will use AI for help. This way AI remains as a tool and not a substitute for you. Advanced AI features including asking AI to be a project manager, an interview coach, or a design consultant. Using AI for simple to complex explanations. To use AI as a debugging assistant. Keeping AI on the right side of the screen as a live help support for any complex software that you may be using. So, in summary, including this course with the review, AI is used for practical guidance, day-to-day tasks, or writing assistance, information search, research planning and making decisions, productivity, learning, creative work for drafting, as well as extracting information from complex documents, statistical data analysis. Use AI wisely. Do not copy-paste algorithms from AI and submit it as your own. Do not let AI become a substitute for thinking. Use it to learn like the coach. So spend time thinking, talking to people, reading books and online articles, and then revising your work. Make it truly your own. Before we wrap up, I want to say thank you. Learning is a journey, and I'm glad we've shared this path together. As you move forward, keep exploring AI, keep asking, and keep challenging yourself. I wish you all the best in what comes next.